Admiral Zexathara had witnessed the rise and fall of 17 civilizations during her 3-century military career. The Valerian Empire's finest strategic mind, she commanded the largest battle fleet in known space. 800 vessels of pure crystalline death, each capable of glassing a planet in minutes. Yet as she stared at the tactical display showing the approaching human vessel, something cold crawled up her spine. "Analysis complete, Admiral," her tactical officer reported, his usual confidence replaced by uncertainty. "The human ship. It defies conventional classification." The vessel appeared on their screens like a wound in space itself. Where other ships gleamed with polished metal or energy fields, this one seemed to absorb light. Its hull was matte black, studded with what appeared to be countless small ports. No elegant curves or intimidating spikes, just brutal geometric efficiency. It was massive, easily dwarfing their largest dreadnought, but moved with an unsettling grace that spoke of technologies the Valerians had never encountered. "Size?" Zexathara demanded. 12 kilometers long, Admiral. 4 kilometers at its widest point." The bridge fell silent. Even their greatest warships barely reached 3 kilometers. "Weapon signatures?" That's the problem, Admiral. We're detecting energy readings consistent with at least 4,000 weapon systems, but we can't identify the type. The power core readings are..." The officer paused, recalibrating his instruments. "Admiral, if these readings are accurate, that single ship has more firepower than our entire fleet combined." Zexathara's 4 eyes narrowed. Humans had been the galaxy's newest spacefaring species, achieving interstellar travel only 50 years ago. They'd been dismissed as primitive warriors, barely worth the Valerian Empire's attention. Their ships were crude, their tactics straightforward, their technology laughably simple. That assessment had led to this moment. 3 days ago, the Empire had issued an ultimatum to the Terran Federation: surrender their outer colonies or face annihilation. The humans had responded with a single transmission: "Come and take them." Now, as the massive human vessel approached the Valerian fleet's formation, Zexathara began to wonder if the Empire had gravely miscalculated. "Incoming transmission from the human vessel," her communications officer announced. On screen, the view screen flickered, revealing a human in what appeared to be a simple military uniform. No elaborate armor, no ceremonial weapons, just a middle-aged woman with steel-gray eyes and an expression of absolute calm. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Federation Navy, commanding the TFS Retribution. You have 47 seconds to withdraw from Terran space." Zexathara bristled. "Human, you face the might of 800 Valerian warships. You will stand." "Down in 38 seconds." The human's interruption sent a ripple of outrage through the Valerian bridge crew. No one interrupted an admiral of the Empire. "You dare threaten us with a single ship?" Zexathara snarled. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. "This isn't a threat, it's a countdown, 24 seconds. "Admiral," the tactical officer whispered urgently, "the human ship is powering up. Energy signatures are..." "By the void, Admiral. I've never seen readings like this." On the display, the Retribution began to change. Those countless small ports across its hull started to glow with an ominous red light. The space around the vessel seemed to shimmer, as if reality itself was being bent. 15 seconds, Admiral Chen stated, calmly. Zexathara's tactical training warred with her pride. 800 ships against one. It should be impossible for the humans to pose any real threat. Yet every instinct she'd developed over 3 centuries of warfare screamed danger. 10 seconds. "Admiral!" The sensor operator's voice cracked with panic. "The human ship. It's not just one ship, it's a weapons platform. Those aren't normal armaments. I'm reading quantum disruption cannons, antimatter torrents, gravitational shear projectors, technologies that shouldn't exist." 5 seconds. Zexathara's pride crumbled in the face of survival instinct. "All ships emergency retreat, maximum burn. 2, 1. The Retribution opened fire. What followed couldn't be called a battle. It was a demonstration. Streams of weaponized physics lanced out from the human vessel, beams that didn't just destroy enemy ships but unraveled them at the molecular level. Missiles that opened rifts in spacetime, swallowing entire squadrons. Energy cascades that turned proud Valerian dreadnoughts into expanding clouds of superheated plasma. In 17 minutes, the most powerful fleet in Valerian history ceased to exist. Zexathera found herself aboard the only surviving ship, her command vessel, which Admiral Chen had deliberately spared. As emergency systems struggled to keep life support running, a final transmission came through from the Retribution. "Tell your Empire," Admiral Chen said, her voice carrying across the void with terrible certainty, "that humanity spent 50 years watching, learning, preparing. You saw primitive warriors. We saw lessons in what not to become. We built this ship not for conquest but as a promise. Any force that threatens innocent human lives will discover that we've learned to make peace through superior firepower." The transmission ended, and the Retribution vanished into hyperspace, leaving nothing but debris and a traumatized Valerian admiral. When Zexathera's report reached the Imperial Council 3 days later, it sparked the greatest policy reversal in Valerian history. The planned invasion of human space was not just cancelled, it was forgotten. The outer colonies were formally recognized as sovereign Terran territory, and across the galaxy, species that had considered humanity weak primitives began to whisper a new truth. The humans had been quietly preparing for war while publicly speaking of peace. They had built nightmares disguised as starships, wielded by minds that understood both mercy and absolute destruction. The Retribution was never seen again in Imperial space, but its reputation echoed across the stars, a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that chooses not to hunt. No fleet dared approach human space again.